All right, so we'll try to deploy a Jenkins application inside this Kubernetes cluster with the storage, persistent volume, and persistent volume claim. So for that, I have created a Jenkins file over here. So let me open. So here you can see the first section is I'm just creating the persistent volume claim. And so with the storage class is local path. So if we observe carefully, kubectl get sc storage class. So by default we got this local path, right? So if I get kubectl get all, so in the default namespaces, so there is no resources, and also kubectl get pv comma pvc, persistent volume and persistent volume claim, so they are also not available, so only the storage class is available. So let's try to inspect the Jenkins manifest, and we are just trying to create 2 GB of a persistent volume claim from the local path storage class. And then if you go below, so we are just trying to deploying a deployment called Jenkins. And so this Jenkins pod will try to use the persistent volume claim. You can see the claim name is Jenkins claim. And finally we are creating a node port service for this Jenkins. All right, so let's try to deploy this file into the Kubernetes cluster. kubectl apply -f jenkins.yml. So there you go. So it just created a persistent volume claim and then a deployment and then a service. Let's just try to get all those information, all comma pv comma pvc. So here you can see the persistent volume claim 2 GB is requested and it is bound to this Jenkins claim, right? So the storage class is local path, and then persistent volume claim is also there, that is a Jenkins claim, and that is bound, and that is bound to the PVC. So this PVC is here, you can see. So this name and this name will be the same, and the capacity of this volume is 2 GB, and the access modes is read write once, and the storage class is local path. Just 13 seconds ago it's just created. So apart from this PVC and PV, so we are also having a replica set, and which is part of the deployment, and then a service for the Kubernetes, as well as a pod for the Jenkins. Still it is container creating because it has to download the Docker image, right? So if you check now, so the Jenkins is up and running. Let's try to open this Jenkins from the URL, and then we'll try to configure the Jenkins. We will try to test it whether it is working perfectly or not. So for that, kubectl get logs -f of this pod. So before that, I want to note down the IP address, sorry, the port number of this one, and then enter. Okay, so the get command is not required. kubectl logs -f. So the particular Jenkins pod will give you the password for the Jenkins. So that's the reason I'm checking for the logs. So let's go back to the browser and then try to open at this port. So HTTPS is not required because it is not listening. There you go. So Jenkins homepage is there. So it is asking for the initial password. Let's go back to the terminal and then copy the password and then paste it over here. And then continue. Never. And install suggested plugins. So it will try to install all the suggested plugins. And the version of this Jenkins is 2.222.3. And in the meantime, so we'll try to inspect where this local path PV is created and where this Jenkins data is stored inside the cluster, right? So if I go to kubectl get all -n cube-system. So if you observe, local path provisioner daemon set is there, right? And also if I go to the manifest path, cd var lib and then rancher and then k3s and then server and then manifest. So if I open the file local storage.yaml, and here you can see at the end of the file you can get the information var lib rancher k3s storage. Let's copy the path, then try to inspect. I think this particular folder is not created because the pod is not created at this master node. So we'll try to get the information where the pod is created, at which node it is created. So if I check kubectl get pods -o void. So here you can see it is created at 172.31.6-205. So that IP address is this one, worker node 2. So let's go to this worker node 2 and then we'll try to inspect. All right. So let's go back to CD at this location. Sorry, CD. Couple of times I'm pressing CD, so that's the reason. Let's copy it. So there you go. If I ls, here you can see it is created a PVC folder. So a folder with a PVC name. So I'm just going to the master node, and if I go to kubectl get PVC, here you can see. So a persistent volume claim is created at the master, and the volume ID and this folder name is same actually. So if you just try to observe at the end fb25. So if you go to this folder inside it, you can see the data of your Jenkins. That means with this local path provisioner, we can able to create the path volumes inside the Kubernetes cluster. Those are all the local volumes. So let's go back to the browser and then save and continue, and save and finish, and then start using Jenkins. There you go. So Jenkins is just created. So that means our Kubernetes cluster, the K3s cluster, is working as expected. Right. We tested the Jenkins application is up and running, and we can able to create the local PV and PVC as well. Now we'll try to clean up all the things. So how to delete the cluster and all. So if I go back to the documentation, and so we know how to install the K3s cluster, right? So when you install K3s binary inside the servers, so you will get a script at this location /user local bin. So if you want to remove the cluster from your servers, you can execute this command. All right, so execute on all the nodes. I think only on the master node only this script is available. So if I check kubectl get nodes, so there you go, kubectl no such file or directory. So this is how we can clean up the cluster, uninstall the cluster. And let's go back to the AWS console and then try to delete all the instances. Let's do it one more time. Let's delete all the instances. Right, it's deleting. And let's go back to the RDS console and then delete this RDS as well. Delete. So as this is a demo instance, we don't need to create any final snapshot, and we acknowledge and enter delete me and then delete. Let's refresh this page. There you go, it's deleting. So this is how you can clean up the cluster and the instances as well. I hope you learned something about the K3s cluster, and I will come up with very advanced topics inside the Kubernetes cluster in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.